Welcome to Witchy Wednesday, where we remember the rituals our ancestors practiced long before spirituality became a trend.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Witchy Wednesday, where we return to the ways our ancestors practiced, worked with the earth, and protected their energy long before modern systems existed. Today, we are celebrating by creating a full moon protection jar. This is not just a craft, but as a ritual rooted in history, intention, and energetic protection. Because protection work has always been a part of spiritual practice. Now, the full moon has long been seen as a time of release, illumination, and heightened energy. Across cultures, this was a time when people believed the veil was thinner, energy was amplified, and what you set with intention carried more power. Now, protection rituals were often done during the full moon to clear unwanted energy, strengthen boundaries, and call in safety. Now, protection jars, sometimes called witches' bottles, date back hundreds of years. In places like England and North America, they were buried near doorways, hearths, and on property lines. They were created to ward off negative energy, protect the home, and reflect harmful intention away. Some even included sharp objects like nails or pins to trap or redirect harmful energy. Today, we're going to work with the softer version, but the intention remains the same: protection, grounding, energetic safety. Now, what we place inside the jar matters because every item carries symbolic and energetic meaning. So, today we are going to be using salt, lavender, bay leaf, rosemary, a little bit of pepper, some garlic. You have to find a jar. You'll need a jar to use and something to close the top and seal it. So I know that they have actually like little jars that you can buy that have little corks that go on top of them, but we're just working and rolling with what we got here in the house today. So I'm using an old candle holder and a piece of cloth, which I will use to seal it and close it with wax. Let's get into the ritual itself. So you know me, whenever I'm doing ritual, I like to light a candle, call in source to be with us while we do this ritual. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. So you're going to go ahead and let's start with the salt. So salt across cultures was used for purification and protection. It absorbs and it neutralizes unwanted energy. So we're just going to go ahead and we are going to sprinkle some salt into the jar. And we are going to set the intention that this salt will help with purification and protection for the house and all that live here. And there we go, a little bit of salt. Next, we're going to come and use rosemary. So rosemary is been used for centuries for around protection. It's a protective herb. So it's used for cleansing, remembrance, and warding off negativity. So again, just set the intention that we are adding rosemary to help ward off any negativity to the household and to those that live here. Next, we're moving on to lavender. Now, lavender brings calm, peace, and emotional safety. It helps to balance the nervous system while protecting the energy field. So again, we're just going to sprinkle some in, and we're going to set the intention that this helps for calming the nervous system for all those that live here in this house and protecting our energy field. There we go. Next, we're going to use a bay leaf. Now, bay leaves are associated with strength, protection, and intention setting. So it was often used to seal wishes or prayers. All right, so as I set the bay leaf into the jar, I'm going to ask that all the wishes and prayers of those of us that live here in this household be answered. And finally, we're going to add some pepper for protection and boundary setting. So we're going to go ahead and just add a little bit of pepper and set the intention to help strengthen the protection and the boundaries of those in the household. Now, once you've added all your ingredients to your jar, you can go ahead and say like a last minute setting of your intentions and a little prayer. So I call in protection. I'm safe in my body and space. Only supportive and aligned energy may enter here in this household and for those that live in it. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to seal your jar. So now, traditionally, wax from a candle was used because fire represents transformation and protection. So I am going to use a little bit of wax here from my candle. See if I can make this work. You are witnessing the first attempt to seal the cloth. And I was not quick enough. All right, let's try this again. Okay, I'm going to pause this because it's apparently going to be a process. All right, folks, so clearly I was having a struggle with the wax. So I am using a piece of twine to put my cover on. Then I'm going to seal the twine with the wax. So I'm still bringing in that fire element. Improvision, improvision. All right, this is going to work. Look at that. Fantastic. We're going to drizzle a little bit of the... Oh, don't set that on fire. All right. We are now considering this jar sealed. All right, you're then going to take your jar and you are going to place it under the full moon, whether that's outside or in a windowsill where the moonlight will come in. This step matters because our ancestors didn't just create ritual tools, they charged them. They worked with them, the moon, the elements, the cycles of nature. Now remember, protection isn't just spiritual, it's nervous system work as well. And when you create something like this with intention, you are signaling to your body that you are safe, you are supported, and you have agency over your own space. And that matters more than people realize, or at least it has come to be true for me in my life. Now, this is a practice that our ancestors understood deeply, that safety is something we create, cultivate, and reinforce. Your protection jar is not about fear. It's about grounding, boundaries, and intentional living. So if you feel called, once you've charged it, you can keep it near your doorway, your bed, or a sacred space. If you want to continue returning to these practices, to the rituals, to the rhythms, and the wisdom of those who came before us, make sure to follow along for more Witchy Wednesday. And if you feel called to go deeper into your healing journey, I offer both trauma-informed support and spiritual work. Because those two paths lead back to the same place, wholeness. All right, friends, if you enjoyed this video, please do all the things, like, share, comment, so that we can bring more of our ancestral practices back into modern spirituality.